Have you ever had a dream that you had you could you'll do you want you could do so you'll do you could you want them to do so much you can do anything? Have you ever had that before? Well, I have because I'm here today talking to all of you guys on my microphone, Emma's Medium mic. This is a re-record. Yesterday I recorded it. I was a little crazy and I thought, well, today I could be a little bit more level-headed and a little bit more here, but I had a crazy day at work. I just feel like un like what's the right word? Uncharacteristically energized. So today might be again another chaotic recording, but I really hope that this is the one that stays. Anyways, welcome. Let's just jump right into it today. Lots to talk about. My recording yesterday took about 30 plus minutes, so I'm really going to have to make that shorter because Canva does not let me make videos longer than 30 minutes. So, first on our topics today, you guys, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite all-time favorites. Whoa. I'm going to talk about my all-time favorite music artist. It's going to be Tegan and Sara. I feel like most people don't know who they are. Every time I have like a earbuds, not familiar, it's an app you can connect to your music thing. Whenever you have a question about whatever I say, be inquisitive. Google it. I love doing that when I listen to podcasts. So if you hear me say something and you don't really know, Google it. You're going to learn a lot. And I really hope that you learn from me. Earbuds always tells me that Tegan and Sara are like a really unique niche artist to listen to. So I really feel special. But I found Tegan and Sara in 2019, I believe. I had known them, but I didn't know them. I've heard their music since 2013, since Everything Is Awesome. Yeah, that's Tegan and Sara.
Oh my gosh, I love this song.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when we're part of the team.
Lego Movie. Everything is awesome. So I've known of them. Now I know them. Really began my journey of listening to them in 2020. And it's just grown so much deeper. I appreciate their music and their art so much more. I want to read to you the Apple Music About section because I feel like I try to come into this podcast with facts to educate people, and I somehow don't do that, and then I just get mad at myself. So, this is what Apple Music has to say about Tegan and Sara. Based out of Vancouver, British Columbia, Tegan and Sara are an award-winning indie pop band composed of identical twin sisters. So this band is two sisters, twins, who have made the most, I don't even know, the best music I've ever heard in my life. I'm obsessed. They released their 1999 debut album, Under Feet Like Ours, as Sara and Tegan, but they soon swapped the order of their names to avoid being thought of as solo artists called Sara Adjectin. And Tegan, whoever that is. Their 2012 gold certified single, Closer, spent 18 weeks on the Billboard Dance Club charts, peaking at number 1. I'll insert a clip here.
All I wanna get is a little bit closer.
They've been award winning, they've been doing things, but they've still been underground. So I just really appreciate that they're successful, they have the recognition they deserve, but they're not blown out of proportion like Taylor Swift or something like that. In 2013, Heartthrob entered the the Billboard 200 at number 3. So they really found their mark in like the late 2010s, even though their music from the early 2000s is so good. I'm obsessed.
Make myself feel bad, there's a chance I start to wonder if this was the thing to do. Come down, I'm calling you to sing. I'm capsized, staring on the edge of the sea. Doesn't matter what you're looking for, peace, love, sloppy love. Where do we go? Where do we go?
And then Everything Is Awesome was the closing theme of the 2014 Lego Movie and became their number 1 platinum certified single. So since then, they've released a lot of great music. The 2016 album is so synth pop. I don't even know how to describe it, but I'm bringing them up today because I got a Christmas bonus at my job and I've been really wanting Tegan and Sara CDs. That has been my number 1 thing I look for at every thrift store, at every music store, and nobody has it. It just goes to show how niche they are compared to like the mainstream sounds. So I decided to buy most of their discography on CD. I did have The Con, which came out in 2007. I found this specific CD at a music store in 2021, and it was my life. I've had it in my car for months. It was my number one played CD of that year, and I love this album. It's just holds such a special place in my heart because of the artistry, the sound, and the way it makes me feel. So the con I already had, but I had to add to the discography collection. So I got So Jealous, which came out in 2004. I got If I Was You came out in 2002. Today in the mail came Sainthood, which was their 2011 album. And you guys, it's in my bag. Hold on. I got Heartthrob, which is their 2013 award-winning record with Closer, their number one single. And honestly, I can't. I'm just like so excited. I played the first two. I played So Jealous and If I Was You in the car earlier this week, and I actually screamed like a little kid out of like pure excitement. I know that sounds crazy, but it was very, I don't know how to no words can describe. I just love their music and I want to share that with you. So if you have any desire to go listen to them, do so and then come and talk to me about it because I'm obsessed. I also want to point out I saw them live summer 2023 at Summerfest. I was in Boston actually for my birthday, and I was scrolling Instagram and I was like, "Oh my god, Tegan and Sara are coming to the United States." And they're going to be at Summerfest in Milwaukee, which is only like a 2-hour drive. I was literally so excited. I bought tickets immediately and I went and saw them with my friend Ashley, and it was the best time of my life. So good. I remember trying to fall asleep that night, and all I could hear were their voices in my ear because I heard them with my actual ears. They're singing into my ears. It was magical. I've never had an experience like this with an artist before where their music just resonates so deeply and not even the meaning, like this lyrics. I feel like the lyrics are fun. They have really catchy lyrical like flows and stuff, but it's truly the sound. The sound of their music is like my exact definition. It's indie rock, alternative, indie pop. It is just perfection to me. So Tegan and Sara will always and forever be my top artists. I guess yeah, they're artists because there are two of them. But anyway, that's that. My next topic is about Eli. That's all. So this is really interesting. Many people, I'm for sure none of you know who Eli is, and if you do, please come talk to me about it. I am like that would be amazing. I don't know that much about Eli. I would say Eli is like an up and coming pop sensation, up and coming in terms of their music. Her music is coming out. It came out in like on Halloween, I think. The top left picture is the album cover for I think her first full studio album. So she's up and coming, but her sound, I okay. I'm gonna read Apple Music's description of her because it's way better than what I could describe. Songwriter and vocalist Eli takes direct inspiration from her bright, slinky pop songs from early 2000 radio hits in the culture of that era. So if you can imagine to yourself, early 2000 singers, I'm trying to think, Britney Spears, Mariah Carey. The thing about glittery sounds, like the chimes you hear in those songs, and like the synth, and not even synth. I don't even know how to describe it. That's my favorite phrase, I guess, is I don't know how to describe it. I need to get better at that. That's my New Year's resolution is to get better at describing things for the sake of this podcast. Um, After exploring various voicings of her songwriting on early singles, Eli's 2025 Stage Girl committed fully to the influence of early 2000s R&B and commercial pop crossover artists like Mariah Carey and drew from Eli's childhood memories of watching Hannah Montana and American Idol. Hannah Montana and American Idol being Eli's inspiration. We are like sisters. Like, I swear to God, I watched the first episode of Hannah Montana when it aired. I was 4 years old, but I watched it. I grew up watching American Idol with my family. I would play American Idol with my friends. We would take turns being the judges. We would be good singers. We'd be bad singers. So, with that context of how Eli approaches music, the sound of her songs, the musicality, the vocals, here are some examples. I'm in awe. I have known Eli since like 2014 because of a Vine. If you were on Vine, you've seen this Vine and you've seen
Let me hop out the Porsche, I'm gonna hit that.
Shut the up.
So Eli's been singing and performing for over a decade, and it's just so cool to be a part of the progression of her music. I did hear a couple of her singles in the early 2020s, which the fact that I just said early 2020s because it's almost 2026, which would I think be considered late 2020s. Oh, guys, this is crazy. Her early singles were just so catchy, and it planted a seed in my brain, like, you should stay up to date with her. Like, you should just kind of go back every once in a while, and the summer, I was like she was releasing singles. I think she released an EP technically, but it was a full album on Halloween, and it is just reminds me of being a kid. It reminds me of the Disney Channel sound, not like the Disney Channel, like, content, but the sound of it. The 2000s pop perfection. So, that is my
Falling for as our love. It should feel like glitter. You should be his baby, not his babysitter. Taylor Swift, you will never be trans. I was the girl of your dreams, and no trust. Even if too little, just a little too much, too much. Boy, you got me, come make me. It's dirty and it's mean. You're not the one for me. Now I got.
And now onto television. You guys, I didn't watch a lot of TV this past week. I was watching a lot more movies, which we'll get to, but I was seeing my friends and we were talking about I Love LA. Two separate friends, two separate occasions, but I was both to both of them I was bringing up the same point that I'm halfway through I Love LA. That's a hard phrase. I Love LA. I'm halfway through, pretty sure, because it's like 6 episodes, 7 episodes, and I think there's probably like 8 or 10, so maybe I'm almost done. But one of my biggest gripes with this show, don't get me wrong, I think it's really funny. I think Rachel Sennett is like, I don't even she is going to go places. Her and Bottoms, her and Shiva Baby, her and now in this show. You can just tell that she's meant to be on the screen and she's hilarious and I just love her. But the show for me, it's entertaining, but I'm looking at it more critically now in terms of like the script writing, the scripts and the writing. The plot is going nowhere. And hey, maybe there's this overarching plot that I'm not aware of, but every episode kind of just seems like we're gonna clean up what happened last episode, introduce something new, and then by the end of the episode, it doesn't even matter. I'm going to spoil it, so if you're not interested in spoilers, just skip ahead. But in one of the episodes, one of the main characters befriends this religious pop star, and this character is not religious and he was just fired, but he befriends this guy and he's like, you know what, I kind of vibe with this guy. I'm gonna out or design his outfits for tour, like I can do this. And then the religious pop star dies, like he's killed off. And then the next episode's the funeral. Like it's fine, but I'm like, where are we going, what's happening? And I think I may be thinking about it too critically, which is fair. I could be wrong totally. I think also critiquing it and understanding that the show is just supposed to be fun and stupid and a description of Los Angeles culture, and I'm not really sure. I added a picture of Odessa. She is one of the characters in the show holding a bag of Ritz crackers because I could not for the life of me find a screenshot of in an episode Tallulah, that's who's holding the Ritz crackers. Rachel Sennett's character is her manager, and Rachel Sennett just signs her off to be a part of some marketing campaign. Turns out it's a giant mural in Los Angeles of Tallulah holding Ritz crackers, saying something about pride, LGBTQ, and Tallulah is like freaking out, but also kind of loves it. So there's this funny aspect to it, and it's not relatable, but it kind of is with influencer culture. I don't know. I will have more thoughts on I Love LA once the show is over and see the whole picture, see if it goes anywhere. But that's all I can really think about that for now. That's all I have watched for TV this week. On to movies, my favorite. um, Starting off with movies, the new Knives Out movie came out, Wake Up Dead Man, and I ended up watching it. But before that, on Sunday night, I watched the first Knives Out, which I had never seen before. I have seen Glass Onion. I watched that movie. Kind of forgot what happens because it's been a while, but I had never fully watched Knives Out. I never knew who the bad guy was. I never knew how it ended because during COVID, I tried watching it multiple times, but then it's just so long that I never wanted to finish it. but I knew that I was gonna watch Wake Up Dead Man with my friends. So I'm like, just watch the first one, and you've technically seen Glass Onion, so like you can just yeah. That's my point to it is like they're just long. They're long movies, but positively looking at these movies, they're so unique. Each movie is unique. It's the same universe because there's a reoccurring character, and I think it's fun. I think if you like long mystery movies, these are the movies for you. I have to just really apply myself and really like focus and sit down. My thoughts on Wake Up Dead Man, I think that telling a religious themed story can be challenging in today's world, not stepping on any toes but still being accurate without being, making things be perceived differently to different people. I think Josh O'Connor did a fantastic job. And what I really took away from Wake Up Dead Man was the cinematography. There were some scenes where even in the movie poster, it's reflective of the framing. You can see that most of the poster is black, but it has the grave, I guess it's a grave, framing the characters in the church behind it. A lot of the scenes were framing, I don't want to say obviously, that's not the right word, but it was obviously framing certain subjects for a certain meaning. And it's so fun to watch movies and be like, I'm catching these artistic choices in the cinematography with the colors, with the framing. And that's what I enjoyed most about watching the movie. And I did guess who the bad guy was, but I'm not going to spoil it because it just came out. But I guessed who it was. I asked my friends, I'm like, okay, guys, guess who you think the bad guy is, and I said who it was, and I feel really awesome about that. So that is my Knives Out commentary. On to a few other movies I watched last week. One being Oh Hi with Molly Gordon and Logan Lerman. Of course, Logan Lerman being famously known as Percy Jackson. I'm not going to get into Logan Lerman. I will freak out. Oh Hi, 90-minute perfection. I think I gave it like 4 stars. I'm not really sure. That's pretty good in my book. It's just talking about situationships, the defining of relationships, and how in this specific case it can get a little freaky, not really good. It's just funny. It wasn't serious. It was kind of a mystery too, and kind of just messed with you a little bit. So I liked that movie a lot, and that's the only movie I liked out of these options. Um, Sunday, here's a little backstory. Sunday on the 14th, I spent most of my day, actually all of my day, going through Snapchat because Snapchat deleted or is charging for memories now, which is kind of crazy. And I didn't want to pay for it, and I didn't want to save every single picture and video because I had 82 gigabytes of storage. I had 25,000 memories. 25,000. Not 2,500, 25,000 memories. So I went through and I screen recorded all my favorites. But then on Sunday, in between the screen recording and the deleting and the exporting, I was watching movies. So I watched Don't Move, which is a Netflix original. I've only ever seen the movie or knew what it was about because of TikTok, with this certain type of content that people repost movies and TV shows with an AI voiceover sort of describing it. It sort of goes like this. A woman walks into the woods and she is struck down, but then you don't know. And I don't know. Okay, guys, that was really bad. Maybe I'll add a clip and maybe I won't. I don't really feel like it. Basically, I didn't know anything about this movie. I went into the movie. It was mediocre. It kind of scared me a little bit just thinking about me in that position. Basically, the premise is she's hiking and she's like contemplating jumping off a cliff, and then this guy shows up. What's his name? Finn something. Hold up. Let me look it up real quick, you guys. I'm going to try to refrain from Googling because in my last recording of this specific episode, I was Googling like crazy and I just want to come prepared. But don't move. I need to find his name. He's like the main guy. Finn Whitrock. If you're not familiar, he was in American Horror Story season 4, season 5. He was one of those reoccurring characters, and he in this movie, boy, let me tell you, he played the part well of a serial killer, serial kidnapper. He injects the girl with this serum, this poison that makes her entire body stay still. Like she can't, there's no motor functions, but she can still think, blink, and breathe, but she can't run away. So like that, I mean, from a standpoint of trying to kill or kidnap someone, I mean, it's pretty innovative, obviously horrible. So it just follows her trying to escape from this situation. I gave it like 3 stars. It was sort of entertaining. Wasn't my favorite movie ever. Oh, What Fun was a Amazon Prime original with Michelle Pfeiffer, Chloe Grace Moretz, Dominic Sessa, Felicity Jones, Jason Schwartzman. I don't know how to say his name. A stacked cast, right? I went into this thinking, oh my God, I just want to see Dominic Sessa act again. I'd only ever seen him in Holdovers. I'm pretty sure that's one of his only roles he's had so far that's been released. So I'm like, oh, this is exciting. The movie is so, I guess, mediocre. I'm going to use that word again. It was so mediocre. I will say I don't think I'm the right audience because it basically is about this mom who has all these kids and a husband who she feels so deeply that she should get recognition. Of course, mom should get recognition, but she just acts on it very oddly. And it was just a crazy Christmas movie. Moms will love it, grandmas will love it, but I didn't love it. And that's all I have to say about that. Bottom left thumbnail or movie poster. 40 Days, 40 Nights with Josh Hartnett. Now, this isn't by any means a popular movie. I found it on Tubi, I think. Last week I was just scrolling on Tubi. I was like, oh, whatever. I only recognize it because growing up, of course, when Blockbuster was a thing, my mom must have rented this movie. It was a rated R movie, so I wasn't watching it, but it ended up like in our entertainment center with my toys and other movies. And I just remember this movie poster because we kept that DVD way past due. I'm pretty sure like we stole it. Like not on purpose, like we just forgot to return it. I felt so guilty, but I always was like as a kid I'm like what does 40 days and 40 nights mean? Like I was like what is I was just so confused. 40 days and 40 nights. Like what could this possibly be about? Well, I don't want to talk about it on this podcast. Go look up the synopsis, you'll see what I mean. I gave it a 1 star. Not because of the content matter, but because of a certain scene and a certain I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to like talk about anything sassy on here. It's just not. It wasn't for me. Not good. And that's all I'm going to say. And then Slender Man. I watched Slender Man with Joey King. I gave that like a 1 star too. It was horrible. Um, Nothing about it was entertaining. It was one of the movies I watched on Sunday when I was also multitasking. But I think torturous is a good word to say about how I felt watching. Next for YouTube, Jenna Marbles. I miss you. And now I have to give a backstory to why this is a topic this week. On Sunday, going through my Snapchat memories, I'm in 2015. That's right, I had memories from 2015. I have so many memories. There was a video of me at 13 years old lip syncing a song. And I was like, I recognize the song. It sounds familiar. I just can't place the name. I Shazammed it. It was Boyfriends by Jenna Marbles. Essentially, in this video, she's writing a song to her friend, her girlfriend, her friend that's a girl, saying, boys suck. Let's date. Like, why don't I just be your boyfriend? We're both chicks. We both like chick flicks. We can have the same closet. And then she does a freestyle at the end where she blends in Boyfriends by Justin Bieber, Careless Whisper by George Michael. I can't think of the other ones. She does like a medley. Oh my gosh. This was like 2013, 2014 Jenna Marbles when she was doing a lot of music videos and songs. I watched Jenna Marbles religiously growing up. I was way too young probably. The content material was not age appropriate for me, but I loved it. I remember going home after school in middle school and I'd make my little snack and I'd have my iPad mini watching YouTube. The bottom right picture is Jenna and Julian, one of their first videos together. It was their second video together, doing a photo booth tag where they would drink alcohol and make funny faces with the photo booth filter on the iMac. And it was so simple, but I remember laughing so hard. I re- I rewatched it and I'm like, it's not as funny as it was when I was a kid. But, and then the picture next to it, the picture next to it is Jenna Marbles' most viral video, How to Trick People into Thinking You're Good Looking, who she did her makeup. That is what blew her up into YouTube stardom. Her golden years, in my opinion, were like 2016 to 2019, I guess, posting almost weekly every Wednesday, random videos, like turning herself into a couch, letting her dogs play with soap. I mean, I'm just trying to there were so many random videos that this week I watched a couple of them. I felt so nostalgic. It was like seeing an old friend that you would never like you haven't seen in a while. It just felt great. And of course that sounds super parasocial. I understand that. But I think what I'm missing the most was who I was watching those videos. I miss being a kid. I miss that innocence and just having someone that was entertaining and fun to watch. Which can segue I learned that from Julian because he would do that all the time on his podcast. He would try to find a segue to get to the sponsorships. Anyway, segueing into my next topic on YouTube is Vanilla Mace. She, as well as Brittany Broski, have like filled the YouTube void since Jenna Marbles left YouTube in 2020. Vanilla Mace, I'm pretty sure is mostly a Twitch streamer, but she posts on YouTube. She's just a light in this world. She is hilarious. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's like truly so funny. Her videos are the perfect sort to just put on the background. Her thrifting, her going and doing a Sminsky swap in the park. Like she just has a certain aura and vibe that is just so applicable to so many people's lives, and she's amazing. I don't think she won an award for the Streamy Awards, but she should have. She should have won every single award. She's amazing. Hilarious. Love her. Yeah, that is all for YouTube. And that's gonna wrap up this podcast episode. Upcoming things I'm looking forward to, of course, volume 2 of Stranger Things 5 will be out in a week. I'm filming this a week before Christmas. I'm not ready. Next week's episode is going to be crazy. Of course, not the finale yet, but that's in 2 weeks. I'm just not ready for this, you guys. I'm not ready for it to be over, but every good thing has to come to an end, and I understand that. I feel like that emoji over on the left hand side. So if you want to know how I'm looking, that's how I look right now. But as always, thank you so much for listening. Comment anything you want in the comments. I want to read comments, please. If you're watching this and you've made it this far, please comment something that I can read, then I'll like it and then maybe I'll reply. I will reply. Thank you very much and have a good